Hello, hello. Welcome to Ram and Goat Astrology. I am Laura Lee.
And I am Helena. Welcome.
We are talking about November, you guys. How's your November been, Helena, so far?
It has been. How has it been? I don't know. It's been. I think it's been a lot. Yeah.
It's very transformative for me. Some Scorpio
Yeah.
seasons are not as intense, and this one seems to be really intense. And I think it's because Mars this year, right, was trekking through there first. And he had this grand entrance, went through there, and then Mercury, then the sun, now Venus. So I think for me, it was just like the entrance of the planet of drive and ambition of like, let's go down into the depths. And I was like, I don't wanna.
Yeah. And I realized the other day that I always am so excited for Scorpio season, like, wow. And then when the sun enters my eighth house, is usually like in Scorpio is when I go, oh, it's not so nice anymore. And it's been there for a couple of days now. I'm like, oof, because that's when the eighth house is the eighth house.
It gets dark. It gets intense. It gets, especially with Scorpio and eighth house. And then you got Pluto going on in that realm too. And oh my, so much intensity and transformation.
Oh yeah. So now it's just like getting through the eighth house for me kind of situation.
Yeah.
But we're doing a bit of a different episode because there's so many transits in November.
So much.
So now we're recording just 1 week ahead because that's still a lot. And then next week we'll release the last part.
Yeah, too much to bite off otherwise. We're going to make you choke and we don't want you to choke. So
no.
Because we've done a lot of transit episodes. I'm not sure if we've seen one with this many transits in such a short time.
It's a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's dive in because we got a lot to cover. So we're going to start with the 15th of November is when our lovely asteroid Vesta, which we did a whole show on her last year, December. So go check out Vesta's episode if you need to learn more about her. But she is the asteroid that really pulls us forward. And she's moving into Capricorn on the 15th. And Capricorn is business, structure, CEO, hard work. So for my self who's experiencing a lot of Capricorn energy, this is just going to amplify that for me. But if you have been maybe looking forward to having some new focus or being pulled into a more structural area, more structured system, this will help you. So this is an ingress when a planet moves into a new sign. So that happens the 15th. And then the next day is the 16th, which is a Sunday. And this is when our lovely friend, the sun, is hanging out in Scorpio, and it has a lovely trine to Jupiter, who's in Cancer. So we have two water signs, one of them very, very deep and intense, one of them pretty nurturing and caretaking. So this is I think, a nice aspect. What do you like? What do you think about this one?
Yeah, nice. Trines are usually like, I do nice with like a quotation because what a trine means is that the energy flows easily between the sun in Scorpio and Jupiter in Cancer. Yeah. It flows easy. That that can also lead to things happening easily that we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's
an easy flow of energy between that scorpionic focus, the laser focus, and the very like the part of us who wants to feel safe.
Yeah.
And mothered.
And this is a nice day for Scorpio season. Also has a lot to do with financial. Scorpio and Taurus are kind of the two financial signs. So we could have some financial expansion here, maybe some financial things to pay attention to, right? With Jupiter there's an awareness. There's also abundance, but also remember Jupiter is now retrograde. So this is one of those moments to like take time to maybe reanalyze your finances or make sure your contracts are done, or right, just make sure that everybody's taken care of in the right way. Jupiter can be a little obnoxious sometimes, and we have to make sure we tend to our needs with that Cancer energy. So
yeah,
November 16th is a nice day for taking care of yourself, taking care of things, making sure that you're managing your emotions, managing your money, managing your relationships well. And it's really
managing your home, pretty much like the things that are closest to you. Yeah, your the stability in your house, your family.
Yeah, absolutely. So great day for that. It's a Sunday. Maybe take time with your family and just figure some stuff out. Go through your finances if you haven't done that in a while. So then we have the next day, which is Monday. And November 17th, we have the sun, of course, in Scorpio still. And now we're trying to Saturn in Pisces.
Yay.
So the other side of the zodiac now. We had Cancer over there. Now we got Pisces and Saturn going on over here. So what do you see with this one?
Emotions. Emotions. I feel like this is a day when we will feel a lot. The moon is not involved, but Scorpio and Pisces are involved. The sun in Scorpio is like, this is our focus right now, to be in this Scorpio vibe, and like to Scorpio likes to, like, it has laser focus. It sort of analyzes, not in the same way that Virgo does, but it's sort of it scrutinizes you. It's like, what's behind over there? What are you really like? What do you really think? And then so it likes to dig deeper, and then when you dig deeper, sometimes you see things you weren't ready for. And then in trying to Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is here to teach us lessons, and Pisces is compassion. So what are we going to find? What lessons are we going to find around compassion?
Well, isn't that the question?
Yeah.
And of course, we have to remember this is a retrograde vibe, right? With Saturn retrograde. There is so many retrogrades happening right now, you guys. I talk to so many clients and like, what's happening? It's like, you're not doing anything wrong. All the planets are still hanging out backwards, you guys. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So it feels awkward. The energy does when so much energy is like, hold on, I got to go check this. Hold on. It's like they're all going backwards into the other room to go make sure they didn't forget anything.
Yeah.
And that can feel a little frustrating when you're trying to achieve and move forward. So this is a great day to finish up stuff you haven't completed, right? Any business tasks that maybe are required, because Saturn is always involved in some kind of business, always some type of structure, some type of something with the rules around it, right? So making sure you have, again, I keep seeing like contracts or legal stuff signed, or just anything that has something to do with foundational structural stuff. Make sure that that's taken care of so that we can move forward when the planets shift and go forward. We don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to do that when Saturn was still in Pisces. Shoot. And now Saturn's in Aries and now it's too late. We need to make sure to wrap up those kind of those nebulous pieces. It's almost like cleaning your drawer out, your junk drawer, and you dump it all out and you clean everything. And then you're left with like a few weird random things. And you're like, what do I do with this? It doesn't have a home. What do I do with this? Right. It's little things that are just weird and nebulous that don't belong or don't have a space. Saturn wants you to like create something. Like maybe it needs a space. Maybe it needs a labeled spot in the drawer. It needs some type of organization and structure, because clearly you have it, you need it, this is important in your life. So give it the structure it needs. And I see that happening for people particularly this week, with the start of the week being happening on this day. So take next week and reset your stuff. So that same day, on Monday, the 17th, we have Mercury, our friend, is retrograding, still in Sagittarius, but going to be sextile now to Pluto in Aquarius. And those sextile energies, they're quick. They're quick little conversations. It's like a friend just passing a note to another friend at school, right? It's just a real quick thing. And the other friend at school grabs that information and tucks it away. It's a real quick interaction, a real easy interaction. So Mercury talking to Pluto is all about transforming our way of thinking, right? We got to change the way we're thinking. We got to embrace a new idea. Yeah. Something about the way we communicate and think has to change.
Exactly. I was thinking, what ideas are we going to revisit? What ideas around this Pluto and Aquarius energy, which is so like, um, it's all about community and all about like transforming how we do community. And I hear people all the time now talking about village. How do we get into this village vibe again? We need to help each other. Um, yeah, so Mercury retrograde in Sag. Sag is like a great thinker.
Mhm.
What big grand ideas are we going to revisit around this?
Exactly. And this is also like breakthroughs, right? This could be very breakthrough energy or like truth bombs, if you think about it that way with Pluto. Anytime Pluto's involved, I'm like, it always feels like it's a bomb somewhere. So a truth bomb or a breakthrough with conversations. It could be like big picture conversations too, with that Aquarius energy and Sagittarius energy. Very like future thinking or big, like you said, the village. How do we get people together? So it could be where people are more willing to say the thing they've been avoiding. Maybe others are more receptive to hearing it. So there could be a lot of like, oh, that's what this is about kind of moments.
Yeah. Or like, because because Mercury is retrograding, and when it turns back direct, it's gonna have the same aspect again
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
So maybe also this can be just when the question arises in you.
Yeah.
And then it will be more clear when Mercury comes back around from
In a
being
couple
going
weeks.
backwards and going forwards again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sextiling Pluto again and being like, bam.
Yeah. Maybe that's when the aha
Here it
comes.
is. I think so. That's yeah. Now it's more like the huh? And then it's like, oh yeah.
Oh, so we need a little bit to think. This is like where we could be getting a lot of big, like cosmic visionary energy, right? With Aquarius and Sag, there's a lot of visionary stuff, a lot of futuristic stuff where we could be getting these ideas, but they maybe don't make sense to us until the retrograde is done and Mercury goes back forward. So we might be getting the pings or the downloads, and then they'll make sense in a few weeks.
Absolutely. So the day after, Mercury is retrograding back into Scorpio, and will be hanging there for a while. And yeah, an intense sign for Mercury to be in. Our mind will be in this Scorpio investigative, laser focus. It can become very like hooked on a thought and not being able to let it go. And probably, yeah, about the past. Maybe you start thinking about, I don't know, intensely about an ex or about a something that you did that you feel like maybe that was a mistake. Why did I do that? You know?
Yeah. Yep.
That might
Absolutely.
happen.
Absolutely. I like that.
All right.
And that same day, there's another one. So, oh no, it's the next day. Sorry. The next day, the 19th.
The next day is a lot.
The next day, the 19th, which is what day of the week is that now? Are we on a Tuesday now? Wednesday? We're on a Wednesday now. So we've got Mercury in Scorpio is now opposite Uranus in Taurus. We've got Mercury in Scorpio trine to Neptune in Pisces. And then we've got a new moon in Scorpio.
Wow. Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. And Mercury is retrograde doing the opposition and the trines. Okay.
Yeah. So when we've got our Mercury in Scorpio opposite Uranus, this could look like, oh, like sudden truths coming up or some secrets are revealed, maybe an emotional plot twist. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Because Uranus is going to throw in that monkey wrench, right? That's the monkey wrench that you chuck into the system and it kind of throws everything off. And the monkey wrench that we're playing with is also retrograde in Taurus. So we've got 2 retrograding planets. So we're revisiting past things, re-examining an old story, right? Revisiting the way we thought about something, and maybe we get a shock or a surprise, and I didn't see that coming.
Absolutely. And that Mercury, like we said, Mercury in Scorpio is that you really mentally get really laser focused on something about the past, and then Uranus is in Taurus is your something about your core values or your immediate security and safety will get a little rattled from whatever you're thinking about or discovering in your mind.
Well, exactly. And I think this could be a big deal too on like a global scale because both of these are going retrograde. So we've got, our government's, maybe secrets are coming out, or maybe there's some power struggles, investigations that are showing up. Of course, Uranus and Taurus we go back to the financial system and food and resources.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you've been watching in America what's been going on over here, but the food program, food stamps, right? The supplemental money that the government pays to families was put on hold because they couldn't pass the budget because of,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there was a lot of discrepancies because the government is spending a boatload of money putting in a new ballroom in the White House and all of these ICE agents coming to detain people. We're spending all this money on this stuff, but taking away the safety structures to help people with food. So there's a lot of push and pull in that area. And I feel like this particular day, next Wednesday, the 19th, something's going to
I feel like some like when you have something new thrown, you're like, there's something there, and you just want to get the shit out of the system. This feels like that, like get it out. If I'm very happy to see what's gonna come out because I feel like the pipes need to be cleaned.
For real. For real. I mean, and this could even look like tech issues too, right? Uranus typically rules that area. And because they're both retrograde, we could have like some communication issues or disruptions. Maybe there's like a reset that needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how, but I feel like there's going to be a tech issue or AI issue or a something is gonna.
Uranus is involved. Yeah, absolutely. Mercury is involved. Being retrograde.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So really curious about this particular day. So what's the other transits we got going on that day?
So then Mercury in retrograde at the same day, a little bit later, will be making a trine to Neptune in Pisces. So they're sort of overlapping a little bit, but happening after each other. So that same Mercury being laser focused on something about the past is now really having an easy communication with the nebulous Neptune being in Pisces, which is also super nebulous. So like maybe you have maybe you'll have a dream about something about the past that will maybe resolve something. Maybe you will just have a very intuitive feeling about maybe that's, sometimes you go around and you're like, what was that thing that happened years ago with me and that person? What was that all about? And it just comes back to you, and then you have like another understanding. Maybe this is not a new, like not so mental. I feel like this is more because Neptune and Pisces, this is more soul.
It feels level. Very much like deep emotional clarity, right? We got deep with the Scorpio and emotional with the Neptune. And then hopefully there's some clarity because we're going back to revisit, right? So again, both of these planets are retrograde. Everything is retrograde right now. Everything.
Yeah.
So both of these planets are retrograde. So we're going back to examine, and hopefully that examination gives us some heightened intuition or some emotional clarity. I also can see this one happening with like psychic downloads too, right? Maybe there's some sudden like insights that you get where there's, I have to take action on this, or, this is an area I've got to move towards. There's so many ways it shows up for people, but I can see a lot of intuitive stuff, emotional stuff, heightened in so many ways.
Yeah. And that is just a little bit, always a little bit tricky with what to trust when Mercury is retrograding. It could come at you in ways that you're not really.
And when Neptune's involved, because we have the delusion, Neptune's lovely when you're tuned in and like really clear with your intuition. However, when both of the planets that are having the conversation are both like going backwards, what you thought you knew with your intuition might not be what you actually do know, because Neptune can be a little delusional.
Do we sign contracts this day, Laura?
No.
No, we do not.
Do not sign contracts on this day. Where's the other day we're supposed to? It's not this day.
It's not this day.
Please don't sign contracts on the 19th. Just don't. Wait.
Even though it's a new moon, you don't need to sign the contract even though it's a new moon.
Yeah. No, I would strongly recommend waiting until there's some more clarity. Do not sign contracts when Neptune is involved and Mercury is involved and they're both going backwards. That sounds like a bad situation waiting to happen because you'll sign the contract, but you won't have read it fully. There'll be something hidden in there you didn't see. There'll be something that you assumed meant something else, but it really meant this. It's just don't.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
All right, that new moon there, that's that same day with the new moon, then we've got Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon aligned, right? And this is a time for essentially usually starting new things. But again, we got to look at the other stuff going on in the sky. So I don't know if I would recommend starting new shit today.
No, I feel like because of all of the other things and also this event happening in Scorpio, it's more about letting go of control.
Yes. Absolutely.
Typically a full moon thing, but do it.
But anyway. But it's full, it's a new moon and it's Scorpio. So we're just going to be different this time because that's how we roll. This time is definitely a surrender to the control and the power dynamics that are showing up and go inward. Like, yes, go inward. Don't start new shit, but go inward and explore. Embrace what's going on inside. Embrace the big feelings.
Yeah.
But don't, I wouldn't do like I personally wouldn't do a new moon ritual. I just wouldn't do any of that stuff on this particular new moon.
Maybe not like a new moon psychedelic trip. Nope. Nope.
Now with Mercury and Neptune retrograding that same day, nope. So the next day, you guys, this is a busy week. We have literally had a transit every day, right? 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 19, 19. Yep. Now we're on 20. So November 20th is the Thursday. And the sun is back. So still in Scorpio, getting to late degrees, of course. And now conjunct with that retrograding Mercury in Scorpio. So we have our willpower and vitality aligned with our thinking and communication and logical reasoning. But that one's going backwards. Sun's going forward. So we're meeting in passing. And it's almost like, hey, I thought the sun's going forward and going, hey, I thought we were leaving. And Mercury's like, yeah, I got to run in the house for something for a minute. I'll be right there. And that's kind of the energy. It's more like meeting in passing. The sun's going to keep trekking forward and go get in the car and get ready to go. And Mercury's in the house digging through the drawer trying to find their lipstick.
Yeah, but I feel like Mercury is more like saying that I'm coming soon, but in reality thinking like, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to go in here and look for all those things that I can't look for when the other person's in the house.
Almost like get lost in the junk drawer, right? Like get lost searching for something. And then 20 minutes later, the sun comes back in like, where are you? Mercury's like, I'm coming, just a minute. I'm checking things out. Yeah. So this is kind of uncovering some things, right? But also remember that this is intense, you guys. Scorpio is always intense. And when the mind and the willpower meet up in this late degree of intensity, it's so hard to predict how this will show up.
I just feel like it's great to remember to really try and chill mentally this day, because it will be very easy for us to get stuck in our thoughts and get very get just hyper focused on something and get too stuck up in the noggin. So
absolutely.
Breathe, take a lot of breaths and try not overthink. Try and like dial that down.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is a day to, like you said, just focus on surrendering and breathing, and be careful the verbal conversations you get into, because there could be some spiciness there.
Yeah.
What's
Absolutely. Next? Well, on the same day, Uranus and Taurus is sextile to Neptune in Pisces.
Okay.
On November 20th.
All right.
So Uranus now having retrograded back into Taurus will make a sextile, and that's, like we said before, a very quick, fast transit to the part of this whole planet that wants to have compassion and understanding
Yeah.
For each other as a whole. So that's interesting with that, Uranus wants to shake things up. Taurus is that stability. We think about economy, we think about food. So
Grounding.
this could be good because change is not always bad. Uranus is not a bad planet.
No, but
Saturn is a bad planet.
this could easily be like something gets passed in the government, a bill gets passed or something that prevents, food stamp money from being stopped or something, right? It could be something like that where there's this like new flash of insight, or there's this new like safety measure put in place so that X, Y, and Z doesn't happen anymore, right? So there's a lot of different ways this could show up, of course, because Uranus is really, really surprising. But I think this could physically be a thing that we could physically use to anchor our spiritual awareness. So again, we're going to probably see changing money habits, right? Or maybe you're listening to your values and you're shifting the way you spend money, or you're spending money in it with a different company that you support ethically instead of giving it to the big, huge, money makers that have all the money. Choosing healthier routines because your intuition is pushing you. I feel like there's a lot of different ways this can show up, but decluttering is another one I can see showing up. Decluttering or grounding your space a little bit better. I don't know. Taurus is all about home, family, safety, security. So what you need to feel safe and secure. And then, of course, we've got that lovely Neptunian energy of the emotions going in there too, and the intuitive push and pull. So this is maybe some spiritual clarity that shows up, or sudden breakthroughs through your intuition. There's a lot of different ways this one can pop in.
Yeah.
It feels very unpredictable because Uranus and Neptune are so not tangible. There's no way to grab those energies, right? They're not like a physical energy that you can grab. So it's hard to see how these two particularly will show up. But I think it could be really a creative download. It could be a creative inspiration, or maybe you're doing a meditation and you get oh, that's what that meant, or just some kind of clarity through the fog that you were in. Yeah. I like that.
All right. So
the 20th is a busy day, and then we move to the 21st where there is 1, 2, 3, 4.
All busy days. Yeah.
It's a busy week. All right. So the first one we start with on the 21st is our good friend Ceres. She is a dwarf planet, the same size as Pluto, and we look to her for how we do self-care and feed ourselves. And she finally goes direct. So she's been retrograding as well. I'm telling you, they're all freaking going backwards. So she's going direct after months of backwards movement, and she's in Aries. So we get to take better action now. We get to actually move forward with taking better care of ourselves, maybe feeding ourselves better, maybe nourishing and nurturing ourselves in new ways. And that supports the transit from the day before, where we listen to our intuition and maybe alter our eating habits or whatnot. So this actually is really great for learning to really take care of yourself in a new way, whereas maybe you've been putting it on the back burner. I know I have been doing that.
Oh, we're all doing that. Yeah. And then a little bit later, the sun in Scorpio is now opposite to Uranus and Taurus. So whatever's been happening with Uranus and Taurus will now get this big flashlight shone upon itself by the sun in Scorpio. And our willpower in this intense sign is going to shine a light on the change that's happening around our stability.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a tension.
Make us very aware of the things that we have to change in order to feel safe, right? So I know a lot of people with the food money and food cards and stuff, they got an awakening of the fact that maybe you need to figure out a new way to manage your food, right? Maybe you have to do some container gardening on your porch or something. Just there's a lot of food and money insecurity right now in our country, in our world, with the top people having like a lot of money, right? And the rest of us kind of struggling. So I think this is one of those days that could really create a hyper awareness around that. So how that shows up is kind of a wild card, right? But I do think that there's going to be some shifting and some awareness around energy consumption, food consumption, the way money's being spent, maybe the budget, the governmental budget, things like that is all going to be a big deal right around the 21st. So everybody pay attention to that day in particular, because it's a Friday and there's a lot going on. And one of them being the sun opposite Uranus is so unpredictable. So we got to kind of stay on our toes that day. Then we have also the sun in Scorpio that day is going to be not only opposite to Uranus in Taurus, but also trine to our friend Neptune in Pisces. So when we have Neptune, we have a veil there or a nebulousness. And that could also lead to a little bit of like, what's going on? Wait, what's happening? Hold on.
Absolutely. It's so easy for us. The sun also being representing our vitality and like our body in a way. It's so easy for us with the sun here trying to Neptune to sort of disappear. Like our willpower, our life force, not like dying, disappearing, but like floating away.
Yeah. Almost like the sun being behind the clouds, right? The clouds coming over the top of the sun. We certainly know that the sun is still there, but it mutes it, right? Those clouds mute that energy. So when we've got Neptune and the sun involved, there is always a kind of a dampening of that vitality, a little bit of a taking away some of the heat.
Yeah. I mean, this is not like just go to sleep all day, but it's definitely like rest and see what comes to you, because you know, if we just go all day on a day like today on that, then we're gonna miss out on those little nudges from Neptune in Pisces, you know, nudging on the sun in Scorpio. So it's a good day to rest and not do so much, so you can easier access that energy.
Absolutely. And then, of course, because Neptune's at the tail end of Pisces and it's just dipping his foot back in there for just a little bit, tiny little bit, and before he goes into Aries for the next, I don't know how many years, a whole long time. But this is just like the tail end of these signs. So it's a very mature energy as well, right? Being like that 28, 29 degrees. So I like that part of it where we can maybe, like you said, take time to rest and really lean into what those intuitive pushes and pulls are. Maybe take a shower and really in the shower intentionally with listening, right? You're in the shower specifically to listen to your gut, listen to what source is giving you, listen to, you know, your prayers and what you're being asked to do at this time or not do. Yeah. And pay attention to that, because I think it's really, really important as then the sun moves into Sagittarius right after this happens. So the same day, later in the day, we have that little conversation with Neptune. And then the sun says, okay, see you later, and moves into our lovely, optimistic, hopeful, travel and exploring sign of Sagittarius. Oh, finally.
Yeah. I am looking forward to that, November 21st.
For real. Yeah. I really love that Scorpio shoots up out of the water into Sagittarius. It always feels like a relief to come out from the depths and go up into the sky, like fireworks, right? I love that energy of the transition into more of like a, I can breathe now. Okay. Okay, that was fun. Thanks, Scorpio. We'll see you next year.
Yeah. And then right before Scorpio next year, we're going to be like, oh, I love Scorpio
season. This.
And then at the in the middle, you're like, I can't wait for Sag season. Yeah.
Yep. Every year.
It's heavy work, you guys.
It is.
It really is. And I think that maybe we need to wrap it up because we're running out of time.
Yeah, and because there's so many transits. So this 21st, we get moved into Sagittarius, so we get some optimism. And then the 22nd, we've got a couple Mercury transits with Mercury talking to Saturn. And then Mercury talking to Jupiter. So we got 2 trines there with Saturn in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. So again, on the 22nd, lots of mental activity with these watery, intuitive feeling signs. Scorpio, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So very feeling, very listen to your feelings and think with your feelings on these particular days. That's really the answer here is you've got to think through feelings and with feelings. There's no other way to do this. It's just lots of watery emotional movement with Saturn, Pisces, Jupiter, Cancer, Mercury, Scorpio. Oh my God, all the feels. All the emotions. Feels.
And then on the 23rd, Sun in Sagittarius, sextile to Pluto in Aquarius.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
That feels like a very sort of brave, just go for it, even though it's scary kind of energy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we have that Sagittarius energy of optimism, right? So our vitality and life force energy with the sun is in this optimistic energy. And then Pluto is moving forward in Aquarius. He's the one that's not direct anymore, going forward in Aquarius. So this is really nice where we get to explore new realms. Aquarius is, let's look to the future. Let's look to community. Let's create a village. And the sun's in Sagittarius going, okay, let's actually take action on that now. Right? How do we do that? Who do we connect with? So it's very like, it feels like a networking kind of day. It feels like connecting with your people, maybe planning an event, planning something on the 23rd feels really great. I like that. I actually have friends coming over for a pizza and art day that day. That sounds fantastic.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right. Woo! Well, yeah. See you next week for as just intense episode as this one was.
Whew. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to do another week soon. Oh my God. Take care.
Yeah, we'll never get done. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week. Be sure to like and support the show by sharing with a friend or joining us on Patreon. And you can buy us a tea or coffee and financially support us. Thank you so much. It's so appreciated.